Hi everyone. So I wanted to share about how I learned about my cancer diagnosis of Hodgkin's lymphoma. First, I should say I had no symptoms. I was living my best life. I was at the Somos conference for the first time in Puerto Rico. I went there with my colleague Tammy Alsace. Mom Donnie spoke after he just got elected. We were on, CUNY was on a panel with the New York City Public Schools Chancellor, and then Tammy and I went to Isabela and I was surfing. And then we went to visit her cousin in Ponce. And so we were in the car, and I was actually in the back seat of the car, and I was putting on sunscreen, as I like to do. And as I was putting on sunscreen around this area, I kind of felt this lump, this significant lump right here. And then I felt this side and nothing, and this side a lump. So that kind of scared me a little bit. I mentioned it to Tammy, and then I mentioned it to my best friend Karen, who's a physician, and both of them encouraged me to get it checked out. I didn't really need much encouragement because it kind of freaked me out. So I made an appointment with my general practitioner as soon as I got back, and he felt it. He didn't seem too concerned, but he did take out a tape measure, and I didn't even know doctors had tape measures in their offices because it was quite large. And then he sent me to get an ultrasound. He told me not to overthink it, so I didn't. The results came back that it needed additional viewing, additional specimen, right, to really see what it was, because it had the potential to be cancer. Not that it was necessarily cancerous, but there was a potential to be cancer. Now, they don't say these things. They say them in words that you don't really know. So I made an appointment with the ear, nose, and throat doctor because I had already had issues on my left side of my sinuses, so I thought it might be related. So when I went to the ENT, he did what was called a fine needle biopsy. And basically that would determine if it was cancerous or not, which I didn't realize at the time. Because I have a friend who's very knowledgeable, who's a physician, and she was called into that appointment and heard kind of the doctor, this ENT, talking about it. She had, in not so many words, prepared me for some kind of cancer diagnosis, which really freaked me out because there's so many different kinds of cancer, and not all cancer is the same, right? Some cancers are much more deadly, some cancers are much more treatable. So in between that week or so of waiting for that biopsy results to come back, your mind is going crazy, like going through all the different scenarios. And then the results came back that it was not definitively, but most likely Hodgkin's lymphoma. When I looked up Hodgkin's lymphoma, I saw that the cure rate was over 90% after the first round of treatment. So actually that put me a lot more at ease and was much more of a relief than the week before of not knowing what kind of cancer I was going to probably have. So then I was able to get in touch with a specialist of Hodgkin's lymphoma at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, which is here in Manhattan, a world-renowned cancer center. So I'm super privileged to live literally walking distance or a crosstown bus away to where I was able to get care. But basically, that's how I found it. It was just a lump that I felt. It was no symptoms. So what I encourage you to do is to touch yourself, because you never know what you're gonna find, even if you're feeling great, even if you're surfing, living your best life. So that is how I learned that I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. And throughout this F Cancer Chronicles version of my blog, I'll tell you more about the journey as I go through it. And F Cancer.